Hey, what is up everyone? This is your guy Titan Galet 69, also known as TG. And for today's video, we are going to show the build I used on my Layalab solo run. So this video will focus on tips and tricks on how to maximize your DPS using Power Surge. But before anything else, I'd like to apologize for the delay in the upload of this video. The reason is that I had to wait for our server to hit phase 3. So in order for us to showcase the real potential of the build, feature dungeon hard mode is unlocked, so the HP of mobs are higher compared to normal. Also, we are currently playing at hard server with super anomaly. We are playing at super anomaly phase and coherence. As you can see here, power surge was not included in special cradles, so for keyword enhancement, so it only benefits for fast gunner, burn, shrapnel, and fortress warfare. So it means that we lose one of our cradle, which is the transient impact. As you can see here, the bonus cradles are only for shrapnel, fast gunner, burn, and fortress warfare. So we lose one of our cradle, which is a transient impact. So transient impact gives us a 25% elemental damage and 18% shock damage after defeating an enemy. So this is a lot of buff that we are losing on this server, and nevertheless, this build can still shred enemy faster compared to other guns. So let's talk about the build. The build we are using, the MPS 7 Outer Space SMG. I really recommend this gun if you're going to run Power Surge, but of course there are other gun choices depending on your playstyle. So for the gun, I use heavy calibration with double element. So why heavy? It is because in Layalab, all the mobs and bosses HP are very high, so you want to kill them as fast as possible to prevent getting overwhelmed by the numbers. And you also benefit from the cradle. So as you can see here, we have the automatic weapon enhancement, which reloads 10% of magazine capacity from reserve upon defeating an enemy. So I have here 72 bullets, so around 7 bullets per kill. So the higher the magazine capacity, the more bullet is filled after a kill. I've also tested other calibrations, and heavy style just fits my playstyle. Feel free to use other calibrations as long as you have double elemental damage on substyle. And for armors, we are using 4 pieces of shelter with a key armor, mayfly goggles, and heavy duty mask. So I use heavy duty mask because the blueprint is upgraded to 5-star, which gives us PSI intensity of 178. So if you don't have a 5-star purple, you can actually use these armors. Yep. So depending on your playstyle, this one gives reload speed, medicine cooldown, rolling stamina cost minus 20%, and HP. When HP is above 70%, you get a weapon damage plus 10%. If you happen to have a 3-star blueprint on this gold armor, so for example, I can't really view this one because I don't have the blueprint. For example, you have a gold armor which has 3-star upgrade blueprint, so it gives you 127 PSI intensity. This will be the same as a 5-star purple armor. So the goal is to have a very high PSI so that elemental damage will also be boosted. As you can see here, I have 949 PSI. It's because I have 5-star mayfly, 2 5-star purple armor, and 2 3-star gold, and 2 2-star gold armor. So that's the reason why my PSI is very high. So for the mods, We are using static shock talents for weapon. This is just the best in slot. I've tested other mods and this one gives the highest consistent DPS. For the substat, look for status damage and damage to certain type of enemies. For this one, we have damage against elite enemies. For helmet, we are using deviation expert talents. So this is just the best in slot for helmet. Again, look for substats, status damage, and damage to certain type of enemies. So for the mask, we are using power surge with suffix power surge. This is also best in slot for mask mod. You can get this mod from doing events. So you get this mod from here, this one, keyword suffix mod box. So if you use controller, you are guaranteed to obtain 2 legendary keyword suffix mod. Or if you don't use, you get a chance to obtain 1 legendary keyword suffix mod. But this one is really pure RNG because you can get all kinds of other suffixes like shrapnel, bullseye, bounce, etc. So for the meantime, if you don't have power surge suffix, just use talents with good substat code. So you can use talents for thunderclap. For the top, we are going to use flame resonance blue mod. So this mod is really best in slot if you're able to upgrade both substat to blue. For this one, we get status damage 12 plus 4.8% element damage. So that is 16.8 combined element and status damage. And if you're fighting a great one, you get around 20.4% total damage modifier if you are fighting great ones. So that is a lot. For you to be able to beat these blue mod, if you want to use gold mods, you'll have to get a godly roll on your gold mods, wherein you need to get a gold elemental damage. So that's 8% and gold status damage 6% for a total of 14%, and some enemy type damage modifier, so at least 6%, wherein the 6% is gold upgrade for great one, so that will total 20% damage, just the same as the blue mod gives, but that is a lot of RNG for good gold mod godly roll. So I suggest just use this one, the blue mod. On this hard server, I got the blue mods on the first update on wetlands. As you can see here, I got these new blue mods, flame resonance with element and status damage. Unfortunately, we didn't get a blue substat on element, but so far this one performs better than this mod if you are fighting other types of enemy other than great ones. So if you are on a novice server, I believe you can get the blue mods on Iron River gear crates. So for the pants, let's skip pants first and talk about gloves. So actually for gloves, the best in slot is actually status enhancement or elemental overload. So you just have to look for a better substat for this one, because status enhancement has 2% more damage multiplier compared to 18% for elemental overloads. If you have a better substat for this one, use it. So I use this one in Leia Labs because it has damage against elite enemies plus 7.5, and when I'm fighting great ones, monoliths, I use this one. So if we are going to do some math, if I use this one, if I'm going to fight great ones, so if I combine all damage modifiers, I get a 20% stats damage, 8% element damage, and 3.6% damage to great ones. So I get a total of 31.6% when fighting great ones. And if we compare it to elemental overload, so we have 18% elemental damage plus 8% elemental damage and substat, and 2.4% stats damage. So my total damage modifier will be 28.4%. So if I fight when I'm fighting great ones, this is better compared to this one. Although you have both gold element damage and you have a status damage modifier in this substat, this one is better because you have a damage against X type of enemy, which is great ones 2.6%. So this one will give you higher damage than this one. So if you want a better explanation regarding the damage, explaining how power surge damage works, you can look up to Mon, that's MAWN. So he has the detailed video explaining power surge damage. Go check this amazing guy. For the boots, we are going to use Covered Advance. So this is also best slot for boots. Just like what I've explained earlier, I use this one when fighting elites, and I use this one when fighting great ones. So if you add up all the damage modifiers, if this one is higher for great ones, this is higher for elite, use this one, and use this one. So that is it. And last but not least, for pants, we have two choices here. So depending on your playstyle. So I use status amplification, but you can also use precision charge. The main reason why I choose status amplification is because I'm not good at aiming. So for this mod to work, you have to hit 6% of your bullet magazine on weak spot to get that 24% elemental boost. So let me show you first. So let's shoot the dummy. So after reloading, you get this one precision charge buff. So we had 6 stacks because 60% of my bullets hits the dummy. So if I shoot the dummy and I wasn't able to hit the weak spot, I was able to attain that 60% bullet magazine. Let's try it. So I only get 2 stacks of precision charge, so that is only 8%. So if I use status amplification, this one, if I use status amplification, I just need to empty my magazine to get additional 10% pop. So let's try it. Where is it? So here you go, you get 10% elemental damage, elemental amplifier. So after reloading, so upon testing this with heavy calibration, I can get a 20% buff if I keep on shooting and emptying my magazine. Let's do our damage test for this one. Let's set our loadout for normal, because as you can see here, dummy is considered as common enemies. So to do our test, we boost our common damage to common enemies. If I show you my loadout for elites, so this is what the stat looks like. There's it. So the damage against elite is 27%. It's because we have the mods that gives us damage modifier to elite enemies. So let's use the normal and equip precision charge. So we are hitting around 3,300 shock damage, and let us see if we use status amplification. So the maximum damage is around 3200, right? So for status amplification, we get damage of 3200, and for precision charge we get at 3300. So the highest shock damage. But if we are going to simulate a real fight scenario where you won't be able to hit 60% of your bullet and weak spot because the enemy keeps on moving, or you're just trash at aiming just like me, so we can try it. So I saw 3100 shock damage there, power surge damage. So that is the highest damage we got if we don't hit enemy's weak spot. And let's try using status amplification and just hit. So we get at around 3200. So it is the DPS is higher compared to precision charge if you won't be able to hit the weak spot. So in my opinion, just use the mod that best suits your gameplay. For me, I use this one because, like what I've said, I'm trash at aiming. But if you can hit the enemy is not mobile, it just stands there, and the weak spot is very big and available. Use this one. So for Wolf, I use this one because I wasn't able to hit the weak spot all the time, so I'll just ramp up my damage and shoot and get that 20% status damage bonus. Okay, so let us open our Cradle. So for our Cradles, we use automatic weapon enhancement, deviation master, sprint, tactical combo, status enhancement, and first round blast. So anti-phase SMG, I use this one because in hard silo there are super anomalies, so you have to equip this one for you to be able to damage them or to defeat them. And for solo, I use Lone Walker if I'm running solo, and if I'm with a group, I use this one. So let us now talk about increasing your DPS. Let me get to my kitchen. So for this one, we are going to talk about food buffs. So for hydration, we are going to use Whimsical Drink. So this one gives us 25% status damage bonus. And for our food, we are going to use the fish. We are going to ramp up our fish buffs. So as you can see here, there are 4 types of fish that gives us that boost our damage. So for this one, we are for sea bass. It gives us fire rate 10%, and angelfish gives us crit damage 5%, and pompano gives us weak spot damage was 5%, and barracuda PSI intensity 5%. So even if these only gives 5%, that 5% is still a damage increase. And after we ramped up our fish buffs, remember that fish buffs stacks. So after eating those, eat your main food. So in here, so for our dummy, we are going to use this one, shell fish meat. So because there are no food buff that gives us bonus damage to common enemies, we are just going to use this one to grant us 5% vulnerability. But if you are going to fight bosses, I recommend use this one, so it increases your damage against boss by 15%. So I've prepared the food. Let's eat the food. So for our food, let's use the fish. So I use canned seafood oil because I don't like my fish food spoiling. So this one doesn't have a countdown timer like this. So durability is 18 days. It is because I have this one portable fridge. So it's like I'm a walking refrigerator. So 18 days, 14 days. So let's use this. Weak spot damage, PSI damage, crit damage, and fire rate boost. No, I don't have the shellfish. Let's just first drink our whimsical. We will have stamina. Don't have the shellfish. There we go, we have shellfish here. So let's eat the shellfish meat. And now we test our dummy. Oh wait, let's equip first. Precision charge for maximum DPS. As you can see, our power surge damage increased from 3,300 to 4,300, highest power surge damage. So we increased our surge at around 1k per surge per shock damage. So that is a lot compared to without eating food, right? And we even hit 100,000 DPS before. So the damage is inconsistent. I don't know it's because of the lag or it's just the chance of triggering the surge, but at least you can see that we really increase our damage using these food buffs. So now we are ready to showcase the build on Silo and Monoliths. But before anything else, I would like to thank you for staying, and I hope you learned something new about Power Surge. I would really appreciate if you click the like button and subscribe for more Once Human content, and enjoy the rest of the video.